Everybody, and welcome to What's Cooking in Blackstone. And we have a real special show today. I'm Margot Bick.
I'm Peg Noguera.
And I'm David Williams.
And David Williams works with Nick at a machine shop, but Dave's previous job was being a pastry chef, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to my boss, Sandy, I said, isn't this amazing? Of all the people in the world that worked at a machine shop that could actually work out, because they hired a lot of people and they didn't work out, it was a pastry chef. And he said, of course it was, because he knows measurement. He knows what quarters, eighths, and all that stuff is. I went, I never thought of that. So see, we figured something out, Dave. You make a good machinist.
Well, I'm good with my hands, and I like tools, and I like to play with the big boy lathes.
Yeah, they're always fun, huh?
Yeah, they got a lathe in that shop that's as big as a station wagon.
And actually, it's a very good day to have an egg dish today because it's the first day of spring. Now, technically, it isn't until 6 o'clock tonight.
Oh.
But eggs are a symbol of rebirth and regeneration, and it's actually a perfect day to begin spring.
Yay! So,
And we're going to make Eggs Benedict with Hollandaise sauce. I was on the web the other night at SeriousEats.com, and I saw this guy making Hollandaise sauce. I think he had an immersion blender, and I was so offended by that.
oh, why?
Because if you want to be a good baker or a good cook,
Yeah.
you really need to know how to cook an egg in all ways. So
Well, what's wrong with the immersion blender, though? It's
the Hollandaise sauce came out really aerated. You could tell from the color that it had a lot of air jacked into it.
You have
And-
more control with the whisk, probably.
Yeah. And the Hollandaise sauce that we're going to make is going to come out nice and fatty and yellow.
Oh, that means it has no calories. And
Yeah.
It's very good for your arteries, right?
Hollandaise is what's known as a warm emulsified sauce, and it's one of the 5 mother sauces in French cuisine.
Ooh.
And it can be used in a variety of foods. We're going to put it on eggs, Canadian bacon, and English muffins today, the Eggs Benedict that you're all familiar with. When it has a herbal reduction of shallots and tarragon and white wine, you can add that to Hollandaise, and it's called Béarnaise sauce.
Oh.
You wouldn't use quite so much lemon juice in that case. And if you add a little bit of tomato to that, it's called sauce Charon, which is good on a slice of tenderloin.
I never heard of that. Sauce Charon?
So, yeah, sauce Charon,
Oh.
Charon.
Oh.
And if it's made with blood orange juice, it's called sauce Maltaise. Just a little twist on
Wow.
That would
This
be
is an
nice and
interesting
colorful.
education.
Nice and colorful with
Yeah.
the blood orange.
That
that.
is
So
really
what we are going to do is to put all the ingredients in this bowl, and we're going to dispense with all the instructions that say to do it over simmering water. We're going to do it right on the fire, just the way they do in
Oh,
a
boy.
professional kitchen.
Okay.
So into the bowl we got 4 egg yolks. Then we're going to add what looks like about 1/3 of a cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice.
And it is fresh squeezed. Nice looking lemon.
And we're just going to condition this a little bit.
You call that conditioning?
Yeah.
What would happen if you didn't? It would
You want
like
it
separate?
tilted up? You want it tilted
Yeah,
up?
they can't see it. Can you hold it? Yeah.
There.
Well, this is just to break up the yolks into the lemon juice.
Okay.
If you put this right
Boy,
on
does that
the
smell lemony? Ooh.
if you put this right on the fire with the whole egg yolks in there, it might catch and stick. And scrambled eggs is one thing we want to avoid.
Okay. Now, what do you need to do?
I need a burner on.
You need other than that one?
Yeah.
Okay. You want it on medium?
I don't know. Just get it going.
Yeah, it's on medium. It's going.
Why don't you pass me the ham? I'm going to put it over here for when he
Okay.
wants to put it in.
All right. We don't know what we're doing, by the way, so we're just playing this
Well,
all
we're
by
being
ear.
helpers.
Yes, we're being helpers. Poor Dave. Okay, as you can see from that camera, there's a thing of boiling water there. And now, you're gonna cook the eggs right in that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is that wrong of me? Should I not do that?
No, I didn't know that's what you did.
If you went into a professional kitchen, you would never see them using a hot water bath to do this. They'll just put it right down on the stove. And I've done as much as 30 egg yolks at a time doing this.
know you really can't see it, but the yolks are so lemony looking, yellow, like a daffodil. We'll say like a daffodil yellow. And they're very foamy.
They'll start to thicken up, and they won't be quite as foamy.
Now, if you didn't have the lemon, what would happen? It would just look fried eggs.
Yeah, you'd pretty much get scrambled eggs out of it.
Well, it would give it a depth. It would give it a depth of flavor, the lemon would.
Yeah.
I prefer a
beautiful
hollandaise
yellow.
of lemony fragrance.
That way you don't get that wafting fire. It was like it's near
That would be
the
a first.
flame.
That would be a first.
And if it starts to catch around the edges of the bowl, you can just move it off the heat to control the heat.
Now, we're
Right.
making Eggs Benedict, and I researched it a little bit this morning because I never made them myself. But apparently a guy went into the Waldorf Hotel with a very bad hangover. And he got himself some toast and a few slices of bacon and some eggs. And it was such a hit that the chef there decided to put it on the menu. And as I was telling Margot earlier, also researching it, there's actually something called Eggs Blackstone.
Can you believe that? I couldn't believe that.
And the only difference is instead of using the Canadian bacon, you're going to use what's called streaky bacon, and that is very fatty, and it's from the pork belly. And you add a tomato slice, and then you have the Blackstone version of it. So, but today we're making the regular Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, thank you. Can you see this?
Yeah, zero in on that. It's a
Very thick.
You see how it's cooked?
It looks
And
almost
not
like
scrambled.
a custard.
Yeah.
It's custardy.
Oh, all right. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
Now we're going to beat in butter that's been melted. And we're going to skip the foam on top. All we want is
It's not done yet.
the clarified butter. And we trickle it in a little bit at a time.
I can smell it, so.
Now you have to dribble it in because
If you add too much too fast, yeah, the emulsion won't form. And it's the lecithin in the egg yolks that is causing this to emulsify.
once again, it's a very healthy thing.
It looks like it's very rich. But I suppose that's what makes it delicious.
Emulsions are another thing you want to get familiar with if you want to be a good cook or a baker.
And emulsion just means blending things together.
It
right?
means two things that are normally not mixable that are sort of being forced together. If you put oil and water into a container and shake it, it'll come together, but then it'll separate. But if you put oil and vinegar into a container with some Dijon mustard and shake it, that will hold it together for a little while.
Get yourself some salad dressing.
Yeah.
Yes. Boy, this is,
The butter should be warm but not hot.
yeah, because then it would fry the egg, right?
Yeah, it'll cook the egg and the sauce will curdle. And again, if we tip this up, let me put a little bit more in.
Okay.
And you see how there's butter pooling in there and floating in there? That indicates that the sauce could be broken.
Oh no, is that a bad thing?
Oh, that's a horrible thing.
Oh no.
But if we just beat it smooth again,
Yeah, it's not all
you
separated.
know, it's not separated, yeah. And if it does at the end have that look, and it's unmistakable, it won't be smooth and homogeneous. It's going to be just greasy looking.
Then you throw it out the window.
No, you get another bowl and put a couple of ice cubes in it.
Oh,
And beat the sauce, the broken sauce, into the ice cubes. And it'll drop the temperature of it and possibly pull it together for you.
And I noticed also that you were using melted butter. You didn't have to clarify it or anything. You just used, which makes it easier to make it. If you
Yeah.
had to do that other step to clarify it.
Well, this
it
is
would be more-
clarified.
Well, it's separated
It is?
still.
Yeah.
It's just melted.
Well, yeah, but that's clarified.
oh, they're starting to curl up.
I'm taking them out right now.
Is it time we can put
Yep.
these in? Okay, so why don't we just put these in?
Switch.
Okay, somebody want to taste that? Do we have a little spoon?
Oh, you can taste it. I don't do egg.
We have
Really?
a spoon right here. Here's a spoon.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Because you know what it's
I
supposed
wouldn't
to
know the
taste like.
difference. What do you think?
Delicious.
There you
Really?
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people will season this with a little bit of cayenne pepper, but I don't bother.
Yeah. My biggest problem, Dave, is that I don't taste food. I know Peggy and Lynn are always yelling at me that I don't, here, I'll take that. That I don't taste food. Oh, geez, all we did was all the eggs on the floor.
Do you want me to put 8 in a bowl?
No, we're going to crack them right in here.
All right.
Okay, so now this is,
This is the egg portion of the dish. We're going to poach the eggs in water that has a little bit of vinegar in it.
white
Which-
vinegar.
Yeah. Which helps keep the whites together, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, give him that bowl, Peggy, so he can throw the shells in.
Yep. I've got it right here. I'm to your right, Dave.
Oh, I've never seen that being done.
Oops. Well, we got one broken yolk.
Oh, no.
Well, we can spoon it out. Want me to
You want a
spoon it
big
out?
spoon?
You want to use this? Will this help?
No.
Don't burn yourself.
We're just going to do 4 at a time so it doesn't get too crowded. Now we could use 2 plates.
2 plates? Big plates?
Yeah.
Now, how long are you cooking the eggs for? on the
Until
stove?
they're done.
Well, okay, a little more.
They're not
So
quite.
we're done.
If I was making it for the first time, what would I be looking for? So there's no runny whites or?
Well, yeah, you want the whites to coagulate and you want the yolks to start to firm up a little bit.
Okay.
Depends on really how you like your poached eggs. But these are still way underdone.
Well, that's all right because the English muffins are still toasting.
Okay.
Now, do you like cooking food, or do you like cooking pastry?
Both.
Both, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes people have a preference, but not
Yeah.
everybody does.
Nope.
I like to do
I'm
both,
rare
too.
in the professional cooking world, and I'm equally at home in the hot
Either
kitchen
way?
or the bake shop. Yeah. That's from having spent 25 years doing one thing and 20 years doing the other.
Wow. So I thought all you did was pastry. I didn't know you did all the other stuff.
No, I was working at a retreat house over in Dover
Oh.
as the chef manager, and I got really tired of going home smelling like food. So, and I was about in my mid-40s, I thought, I need to do something about this. And instead of getting a 65 Mustang and a 21-year-old, I went to pastry school for my midlife crisis.
Good for you. Good for you. Where did you go? Johnson and Wales?
I went to Johnson and Wales
Yeah.
and got jobs in bakeries right out of school. And I kept at it until 2 years ago, where I finished up my career as a baker with Whole Foods. I spent 15 years working for Whole Foods.
Wow.
And I realized I could retire, so I did.
And that was a happy day.
Yep. And yet, I'm still punching a time clock.
I
Oh,
know.
by choice. By
Yeah.
choice.
All right, we're gonna need a big spoon for the
Okay,
hollandaise.
use right out of here. You want?
Do you want it as a ladle or?
That's fine. And how about a fork for the...
Okay.
Yep, I got it right here. So the first layer is the English muffin that's toasted.
Uh-huh. Then the Canadian bacon.
Now you didn't put anything on that toast.
No,
Well,
it doesn't need it.
Hollandaise
It's gonna have a
sauce is very
squishy...
Oh,
rich.
all right.
It's gonna have a squishy egg on it. As you can see, this whole dish is about timing.
Yeah. That would do me in.
Well, this would be a special
Oh
occasion.
no! Runaway egg. Tip it over. There.
Julia says you're alone in the kitchen and no one can see you.
Yeah. Julia was wise.
Now, do you do all the holiday cooking, Dave?
No.
No,
I want me to put that in the stove.
because we have Easter coming up next month.
Well, I doubt I'll be doing anything for Easter.
Okay, so here comes. Now you don't put any more butter, huh?
No. No, that's done. Let me just clean up the edge here a little bit.
So basically, the most thing that you did was the sauce.
Yeah. Well, it's the
Well,
whole.
that's the crown jewel of the sandwich.
Oh, okay. It does look like custard.
And I like my hollandaise to have a little body also. A lot of times you'll see pictures of it running off of things, and I think that's
Terrible.
too thick. I mean, too thin.
Wow.
And there it is.
But this isn't even really cooked, though, is it?
What?
Like the egg and all that. This
Sure, it's
got
cooked.
because you cooked it on
And
the
the
stove.
lemon
Yeah.
juice helps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, hollandaise is what's called a potentially hazardous food stuff
Great.
because
You heard it. You
Ignore
heard
the
it first
show.
here.
the eggs are generally not pasteurized. You have to. They start to cook at 140 degrees. Pasteurization occurs at 140 or 160 or whatever. You can't cook them long enough without scrambling them to pasteurize them. So this can only be used for 4 hours. That's by the state Uniform Sanitary Health Code. In a
Really?
restaurant, you'd have to throw that away because it sits between 40 and 140 degrees for 4 hours. Out it goes.
Well, you'd be making these as a brunch or a breakfast meal, and you'd be eating it right away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you made your hollandaise at 10 o'clock and brunch was over at 2, you're fine. But if you needed hollandaise for dinner service, you make fresh.
Can
No.
you put that in the refrigerator? Well, leftover? No.
It's very, very difficult to bring it back.
Wow.
Would you put any greenery on
Oh,
top?
sure, yeah. You could garnish this any way you
Yeah,
wanted.
I think I
A
would.
little slice of melon, a fanned out strawberry, possibly a little chopped parsley on top.
What do they put in on tomatoes sometime?
Yeah.
Underneath it or something?
A couple of spears of asparagus would look nice.
That other sauce that you talked about, the one I never heard of.
Charon.
Yeah, that one. What was that again? What
It's a
was-
béarnaise sauce with tomato.
and that's béarnaise?
No, that's
That's
hollandaise.
hollandaise.
Oh,
To
okay.
make that béarnaise, you would cook pretty much the same way with the egg yolks and maybe a little bit of water instead of lemon juice. But you would mince up some shallots,
Oh, all right. That was
stew
it.
them in a little whole butter, add some tarragon and white wine, and boil it down till the white wine is gone, and then add that into the emulsified sauce.
Oh,
and
That
that's
would, that would give it a nice flavor,
It
I would
does,
think,
yeah.
the tarragon.
yeah, and that's another very classic French sauce.
I've never even heard of that one ever.
Béarnaise?
No, I heard of
Oh,
béarnaise, but the other one I never
Charon.
heard of.
Yeah,
Charon.
that's-
I didn't hear of the one with the blood orange. I hadn't heard
No?
of that one, no.
Oh, wow. So this is really wonderful, Dave. I mean,
Didn't take you that long either,
he said
really.
he could do it, and I says, well, you know what? I was telling everybody that you were making chicken cordon bleu.
Right.
Why would you
like-
tell them that?
I don't know. It just came to my head because I didn't know the difference, really. And
I kept
said,
thinking to
"Oh,
myself, she said he was a pastry chef. And he's,
he's making this other stuff. Oh, gosh. Actually, let me ask you a question because this is something that I did, and Peggy had the wonderful privilege of having some. I made soup today, and I made a soup that was parsnip and celery root.
yes.
And it had onions and garlic and
Vegetable broth.
vegetable broth. But it was like not really tasty. It had parsley in it. If you were gonna make that soup to make it have some flavor, now they told me, one thing they told me is that parsley root and celery root, or celeriac as Peggy says, are interchangeable in any recipe.
I mean, parsnip?
No,
Pars-
it was parsnips,
Yeah.
right?
But I've never heard of parsley root.
Parsley root, yeah.
I haven't heard of it, but I've heard of celeriac, which is,
Yeah.
it's kind of a
Yeah, and
ugly
parsley
looking.
root looks the same thing. It's a big round blubby thing
I
like
never
that.
heard of that.
Yeah, and that's what the recipe called for. But when I went to the market, the guy looked it up and he says, "Oh, any place that you have parsley root, you can substitute celery root."
And this
Same
is a
thing.
vegan. It's a vegan
Yeah.
cookbook, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't very good. Peggy was
I ate
gracious.
it. What
She
can I
ate it.
say? What can I say?
But then again, that's what friends do, right? They eat food that no one else wants. So anyhow, I think that was it. We missed Lynn today,
Yes, we did.
and she was at Jesse's funeral, and with the camels. That was a beautiful, beautiful tribute to him.
Camels walking down Main Street with
Yeah.
a calliope.
Real camels?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, because
yes.
he loved them, and they were his two. Cotton Candy and Curly were the two camels that he used to go visit, and they brought them for him today, which was a beautiful
He was a
thing.
great protector of the animals to
Yes.
be sure that they were
Yeah.
never
Where do
mistreated.
the camels live? Southwick?
I'm sure.
No, I
Yeah.
think no, I
No?
think they came from Dudley.
Oh, did
come,
they?
I think they came from Dudley.
Oh,
Someone's
all right.
pets.
No, I think it was. I don't believe it was someone's pets.
Oh.
It was in the Woonsocket Call, I believe,
Yeah.
today.
Well, I would have them in my house living here, so we all know that. So anyhow, we're about to sign off. Thank you again for being with us. Thank you, Dave,
You're
for
welcome.
sharing this recipe and for giving us some more knowledge about cooking, which we can always
And
use.
we'll have brunch waiting for us.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
thank you for inviting me this time to
Yeah.
take Lynn's place.
yeah. So
Happy
we
to
will
be here.
see you in a few weeks. And that's it. Take care and be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.